starts with two. A simple step, a shared journey, and as others walk beside us, we grow in strength, in hope, in community, side by side, in community.
Exodus 20, verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Greetings, friends, and welcome back to Side by Side in Community. I'm Pastor TJ McCabe, and in this month, we are talking about rest and rhythm and renewal. And this week, our focus is on a commandment that often gets overlooked by us, maybe even laughed off. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Now, that's one of the 10 commandments that's right up there with do not steal and do not kill. But if we're honest with ourselves, the Sabbath is the commandment that we're most likely to break and then even brag about the fact that we broke it. We say things like, well, I'm too busy to rest, or I'll relax when things slow down, or even, I wouldn't know what to do with a day off. But the truth is this: Sabbath isn't a burden, it's a gift. The word Sabbath means to cease, to stop, to pause long enough to remember that God is God, and that we're not God. And even God rested after 6 days of creating the universe, not because God needed a nap, but because rest is woven into the very rhythms of creation. Sabbath reminds us that we are more than what we produce. We are more than our busyness. We are God's beloved, even when we're still. Let me tell you a story. At Allison and my wedding, I was surrounded by family, by joy, by the excitement of the day. It was a perfect day. But my grandmother, my nanny, sat in the front row and worried. And to be honest, this is her most natural state, the constant worrier. Now, she wasn't worried about me marrying the wrong person, for she loved Allison. She wasn't worried about the ceremony or the cake. She was worried about us, about our future, about how we would navigate life after this one magical moment. She worried the sweetest worries that the loveliest of grandmothers could ever have worried for her growing family. And I get it, because sometimes love looks like worry. Who of us doesn't worry about our own children? But Sabbath rest invites us to love without carrying the weight of control. It's a holy pause that says, God, I love these people, but you love them more. God, I have concerns, but I know that you have a plan. I look at those wedding photos now and I smile because even as my nanny was worrying, the joy of that day kept unfolding without her needing to hold it all together. And maybe that's the lesson for us too. Sabbath doesn't mean we stop caring. It means that we stop carrying what only God can hold. Here at Countryside, we're creating space for this kind of rest. Not just a nap, not just a vacation, but a spiritual pause. These bells that stand behind me, well, they're church bells from the 4 churches that came together and formed Countryside Community Church. For combined centuries, these bells have tolled on Sunday mornings to remind people, take a breath, pause for Sabbath. God's presence longs for you to be here. And these 4 bells still ring Sunday mornings to remind us for our need to stop worrying and take some Sabbath rest. So this week, I want to invite you to practice Sabbath rest. Choose a block of time to rest, not just because everything's done, but because you can trust that God is enough even when you stop. Maybe we need to start small, just an hour at a time or a few hours. And then eventually you can work your way up to a whole day of Sabbath rest. For this moment, remember these things though. You are not what you produce. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. You are beloved, a child of God, and God is fully in control. So let's try that again, and we'll take a deep breath in between these. You are not what you produce. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. You are a beloved child of God. And God is in control. I'll see you next week. Let's keep walking side by side in community together with Christ.